Well, it was a fruitless day of investigation, but what do you expect when you go up against that Cadillac of a man, Kamoshida? Oh? Ah, yes, of course, it's Ryuji, here to summarize the events that literally just happened. It was less than 5 minutes in-game time ago that we got all of this same information. What is this game? It feels sometimes as if they are writing this as I'm playing it. And their backspace key was broken the entire time. So they're just stretching it out until they think of what the next event is going to be. And we get stuff like this. I mean, overall, Persona 5 up until this point, as much as I want to like this game, it has been like a giant slab of marble. I feel like there's a great story if you just chip away at some of this dialogue, but as it is, I'm being crushed under a 2-ton block right now, and I hate it. Oh man. The thing is, this would actually be totally fine. This whole thing would be completely fine if this came after about an hour of regular gameplay. You know, upping your stats, talking to people, getting those social links leveled up. Hell, just doing a bunch of dungeon crawling. I know there's dungeon crawling in the game. There's been 3 or so battles that I've done so far. If I was running around a dungeon for an hour and then I came back and, oh, here's the recap of the story before we get right back into it, that would be fine. But it's not. I couldn't do anything else. There was no choice except to endure this as the students had to endure punishment. Yes, all right. I mean, we all know where this is going. That whole investigation thing actually felt like some of a filler arc in an anime, regardless, because how are you going to introduce the idea of an alternate reality and then not have that be integral in solving the issues? I mean, I'll at least give them props, because it's kind of shocking to see that being pressed on the subject, literally dozens of people still are willing to cover up for Kamoshida. I mean, you would think that at least one person would let it slip, or would be going to the police, or something. But then again, you know, for the story's sake, for the fact that he had to become the Phantom Thieves and go steal the hearts of others, can't really have that happening, can we? But then why would you do an entire half-hour, day-long segment that was all about showing how that couldn't happen, despite the fact that it just stretches the bounds of suspension of disbelief then? Because you're trying to get this game to 100 hours. See, I don't even need a co-commentator. I'm just good for doing it myself sometimes. Well, that would be useful in case we were going to do a little bit more leather shoe detective work. You know, maybe setting up a camera in there, or whatever, or some sort of recording device, but I don't know, maybe. But at least then you have a ground zero for where the abuse is happening. Hey, it's Ushimaru. Oh, yeah, okay. Fine. I sort of like this. In some ways, I kind of like this whole text message thing just because it reminds me so much of the codex system in the Metal Gear games. At the same time, I also do kind of recognize it's like, this is a very easy way to dispense more dialogue without having to create a new scene or have characters rendered on screen. Just make a couple static images, and it's simple as that. Done in a very cool way, I will say that. For example, you can see how the black line connects all of Ryuji's portraits, and it's done in a very jagged, neat-looking way, but it ultimately is just pictures. And we're going to be talking to Shiho next. No surprise. I mean, she's clearly somebody who cares a lot, even about somebody like me, so maybe she would be more willing to talk about it. You know, just a sense of justice alone would kind of lead her to being more open about it, despite the wrath of Kamoshida coming down upon her. after it happened. Of course, again, this is ignoring that there's magic, and the solution is going to be magic. What are you, her mom? Okay. Okay. I love this idea that until it was shown to the audience that she had a big bruise above her eye, apparently Takamaki didn't notice. It's as if they didn't start existing until this very scene began. I like this jazzy track in the background. I wonder if Anne's going to have any time for doing modeling and everything like that when she's part of the Phantom Thieves. Oh, wait, no, that was a spoiler. I'm sorry. I don't know if you noticed that she's all over all of the promotional art, but... Shio is not going to be upfront with her best friend about the abuse she's suffering under Kamoshida. I don't have a very good feeling about my own upcoming conversation with her. Oh, well. Also, given that Anne is supposed to have some sort of relationship with Kamoshida, it's surprising that the last time I talked to her, last encounter we had, she didn't really suspect him of doing anything wrong. Yeah, the rumor is that she's dating Kamoshida. Well, anyway, that's surprising. And also, rumors continuing to be a force of destructiveness ever since it brought Hitler back to life back in Persona 2. You know, I've only ever played Persona 1, 3, 4, and, well, 5 now. I gotta go back and play those games eventually. It seemed like they were pretty cool and had some quite wacky things happening in them. Of course, that's gonna have to wait until this series is done, and that's never gonna happen. It is the series eternal on this channel. Yes, you are in the way, but also, and more importantly, let's not even belabor the point here. Yep. And... deflected. Okay, well, this was dead end. Ah, well. I mean, again... it was a very obvious outcome here. Hey, yeah, there you go. Rumors. It's weird that as many disparate type of themes that these games have going on, you know, Jungian psychology, modern day Japanese school life, tarot sprinkled here and there, that somehow Rumors also gets one of the more popular albums by Fleetwood Mac gets shuffled into that as well. I wonder if those two girls staring at those umbrellas think that this conversation is weird. Oh, yes, and also, indeed, Anne is her best friend. I couldn't remember if she actually said that before, or if that was just being implied, or whatever. Point is that, yeah, you would think if there was anybody that would know, it would probably be Anne. Ah, well, let's just leave these two girls to stare at their umbrellas. Go meet back up with Ryuji, which I believe is what? Yeah, here we are. Ah, got some good news? I don't know. I've only known you for like 3 days, man. Yeah, it is to no one's surprise. Yes, Kamoshida is still keeping people in line to a kind of crazy degree. I mean, usually when it comes to conspiracy, having a few dozen people in it means that it's almost assuredly going to get spilled, but for the sake of the story and all that. I mean, we should have, but also how would that even go? I mean, he would just kick us out. Straight up. He has that power. So what are you proposing, Ryuji? Oh, you're proposing that I should propose something. Alright, what are the answers? We should call the cops. Yes, I literally said this in the last episode. Yes, I want to tell them about the castle. They would believe us when we took them there. There's no rules against taking people into the metaverse as far as I know. All right, fine. Shoot that down immediately. Why are you even asking me if you don't want to have any of these suggestions? You don't want to follow the natural course of these suggestions. What if we just killed him? Oh, he's actually down with it. Oh, yeah, all right. You know, at least that would be something happening. Oh, all right. I mean, I'm just saying that, would it really be, you know, we don't have to kill him. We could also just break his legs or something. Yeah. Yes. How do you find a magical other universe and forget about that? That would be the only thing I would be talking about for days on end. It's like, yeah, we found Narnia. It's like, oh right, I forgot Narnia's a thing. Maybe we should just go ask Aslan if he can take care of Kamoshida. Oh, also, hey, Morgana. Who is an extremely kawaii-looking cat. Like, good lord, those eyes are enormous. For what is otherwise a pretty realistic cat model. It's too bad the Ryuji doesn't get a counter blew up, because otherwise I would be using it right now. Yes? Unless he's not here. That's a funny thought, but obviously no. Alright, so in other words, Morgana's not going to be able to get back to the metaverse in any way, and we're going to have to take him each time we're going there. Gotcha. Now, once again, why would I not choose the answer that's nya? Isn't it, though? Because I guess we only have time for you shooting down all of my suggestions to you, Ryuji. Is it kill the king? Because we can do that. In fact, I would welcome it. Yeah, we should just break his legs, right? That's the one you were talking about. Or call the cops? Ryuji, please. You know, usually after you hang a lampshade on the whole idea that Ryuji doesn't seem to understand any bit of information given to him, you would think the writers would be like, oh, okay, we'll tone it down. We already made fun of ourselves for falling back on that too much, but no, still going as strong as ever. It's just that now at this point, now we know that the writers are doing this on purpose and that they won't stop. Won't stop, can't stop. Always a good feeling in writing when that happens. Hey guys, this part of the story sure does suck, doesn't it? Anyway, we're not going to change it. We're just going to keep following it as we were before. It's like, ah, Zone of 5. That was me raising my fist up to the heavens, as I tend to do during the series. I mean, but really though, Ryuji, you shouldn't be. Anyway, what do you got, and how does this involve us just fighting in the metaverse? Because that's, of course, what it's going to be. Come on. We're aware. Well, Ryuji's not, but I am. Also realize that Ryuji doesn't, but I do. Yes, his desires would be gone. But what does that mean for us in this context? Now, Morgana, what it seems like you might be proposing. Ryuji, come on. Your thirst for revenge is embarrassing at this point. Also, you totally shot down my whole idea of... whatever. Now, Morgana, what it sounds like you are proposing is some sort of form of, like, lobotomy or, like, mind control. Which I don't know if we can be sort of a judge, jury, and executioner for thought crimes in this way. I mean, such a thing is not only unethical, but could have some pretty far-reaching... I'm kidding. Let's do this already. I'm so sick of not playing the video game and just reading dialogue the entire time. Let's do it. Let's do it. I was already proposing earlier that we break his legs. I'm fine with like scrambling his brains. I mean, I assume that it's just kill Kamoshida, but... Otakara, treasure. Sure, whatever. We're thieves and all that. That's thematically appropriate. What do you call it? His heart, perhaps. What if we just started the place on fire? Would that work? Or would that also start the real school on fire? That might be an issue too. Sure, whatever. I mean, I just said how down I was with scrambling his brains. Yes? I'm aware. You said this like 4 or 5 times at this point. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this seems to be exactly what's happening to the dude who did the Undertaker impression for all the way back in, what, episode 2? I think that was episode 2? I assume that that's the sort of plague of, what was it, the mental shutdown syndrome or something like that they called it earlier? Well, of course, I'm also sure that that's probably not going to be explained for quite a while. Well, yeah, but hey, Ryuji. When I originally said, what if we just, you know, did a sneak attack on him, you seem to be totally fine with that as long as we could get away with it. Now, by the way, that third one does not actually say I'm interested so much as it says I want to hear the details. Although it was clearly written as if it was I'm interested. But also Morgana was going to say something else about the, you know, how we would prevent him from... I think Ryuji... I think that this is just being written so that Ryuji is being argumentative for the sake of stretching it out. Yeah? Yeah, okay. Suddenly grew a conscience the second that we found out that, he might die. I mean, hell, the first thing he said was that, well, would that really be getting back at him if we scrambled his brains and made him a good person? That's ridiculous. You should go straight home, but... Oh, that's but. Mm-hmm. Oh, wait, he also talked to her? That's gotta be kind of awkward. Ooh, boy. We should have maybe coordinated this a little bit better. How do you mean? Now, you didn't really say that before. I mean, it was pretty well implied, but... No, you didn't really seem to indicate that you knew them well enough to know their type, but... Ryuji is proven to be quite the untrustworthy fellow.